When Sol called me up and asked me to do this, my first reaction actually was, Sol, I just work at corporate headquarters for IBM. I can't have any stories that you'd be interested in. He assured me that I do lead an interesting life, so I'm going to view this as sort of a psychotherapy session for myself. And actually, Sol, if you could call my dad afterwards and tell him that I do something interesting, that would be good. I just wanted to actually build on probably what Irving said and just briefly mention a transformed IBM. If you look at the company now, and I've talked to a few people during the breaks, and I'm amazed at how much people don't know about it, but we are a $100 billion a year company. We're about to celebrate our centennial, so we will have survived for nearly a century in 2011. I can assure you that having a near-death experience in people, in the leader's memory, is actually a good thing. I'm not sure I would induce it into a business model to try to do it. But you look at some of the things we've done. We've divested of a lot of commodity parts of IBM. We've gotten rid of laptops. We've gotten rid of hard disk drives. We've really looked at our overall portfolio. And by the way, none of those things were easy. I think I was involved in looking at divesting of the PC division many times, and the answer every time was, yeah, we should do it, but it's too hard to do. We've also acquired 60 companies in the last 5 years, and if you look at a lot of our strategies right now, you might hear about things called Smarter Planet, cloud computing, analytics. It sort of looks like we're firing on many of our cylinders. But I wanted to just spend a minute talking about when we weren't really firing on many cylinders, in fact, when I think the engine had stalled back in 1993. And if you think about what went wrong, and there's been a lot of books written about this, but fundamentally, there was a bunch of technology disruptions going on, and we missed them. Now, just to get everybody's head, is anybody here heard of TCP/IP? Yeah, okay, so the person that actually had my job in the late 80s, 90s, I believe authored a 150-page white paper which was entitled Why TCP/IP Sucks and SNA Will Live On Forever. There was another white paper written that said why Ethernet was designed by children engineers and why Token Ring was designed by real engineers and will work great, and I could go on and on. Now, I would argue that we actually missed none of those things. We actually saw them coming. What we missed was when and how do we act, and that's really the hard thing. And for another longer talk I gave, I actually went back and sort of studied the history of TCP/IP. It turns out that Leonard Kleinrock wrote the first algorithm in 1961. So that was close to 40 years ago. No, 50 years ago. So, the question to anybody writing textbooks, when was the right time to act? We sort of know when the wrong time to act was, but the right is still a mystery. Which sort of leads me to my job that I will just try to briefly mention. So I'm the VP of Technology. I have a very simple job description that if you talk to the chairman of IBM, he will tell you that I am responsible to make sure the IBM Corporation never misses another technology disruption. It's actually quite easy. And Len, you gave me actually a secondary job description, which is I never want a case study to be written about me in the job that I do. So I actually I don't have time to go into any of these, but I think the near-death experience has really given us a feeling that we ought to have a lot of technology headlights out there. And I'm just going to read down a short list of some of the places where I have to do my business. So we have 400,000 employees, all of which have good ideas. We have something called the Global Technology Outlook, the Global Innovation Outlook, Extreme Blue Organization, Emerging Business Opportunities, BizTech Jam, CIO Forums, CEO Forums, Technology Team, IBM Academy, IBM Fellows, companies we've acquired, which bring in new knowledge, partnership programs, and the list goes on and on. And so what I really do in my day job is I comb through all of those areas. I try to look for areas that I worry about. I'm the chairman of IBM gives me a half day every 30 days, which to me says he still worries about this and cares about what we have. But every 30 days, I've got to bring 5 hours of paranoia to him and either convince ourselves that we shouldn't be paranoid or convince ourselves that we should change. So I hope I met the time, but that's it.
Okay, stay up there, stay up there. I'm not going to let you off the hook. Not going to let you off the hook that easily. Very good. Let's have a round of applause. We're applause challenged for our panel this morning. I don't understand it. Let me, it's great to have this incredible repertoire of places to surface new ideas. Culturally speaking, what are some of the things you do to persuade people? I'm thinking mainly young people. I remember when we at Fast Company were writing about IBM in the 90s, and one of the challenges was how do bright, young, super ambitious, impatient engineers come to think of IBM as a cool place to be, as opposed to, then it was Yahoo, then it was Microsoft, then it was Google, now it's Facebook. What do you do internally when you clearly have all these bright young people to persuade them that when they talk, don't take this the wrong way, the gray hairs like you will actually listen kind of deal?
Yeah,
what are some of the cultural things you do?
So in that long list of things that I talked about, we have a lot of things where we reach into our employee population. I make myself very accessible. We've actually, the forum that I really lead, which we call the technology team, believe it or not, we've actually made it a nice, happy place to go to. It used to be like the terrifying, you go to this big hill in corporate headquarters and you might not come out of it alive. But we do a lot of reaching into the development labs and just talking to people. And I think the proof is in the pudding. If somebody has an idea and we actually listen to them and rumors start that we actually do listen to people, the system starts to fix itself.
Great. So. Nick Bowen, IBM. Thank you.